This model was painted up by one of our artists, and it looks really good, and it's about ready to be shipped out to the customer. Just one issue. It's not glued together. We are not going to be gluing it together. We're going to be sending it to the customer in pieces. The individual pieces in general are a lot more likely to survive shipping without being damaged. I guarantee you if we glue it all together and we were to ship it out to them, something would snap off. An arm, a finger, a weapon, something would snap off. So instead, we ship a whole bunch of smaller pieces that are individually packed. It takes up more room in the box, but it is more likely to survive the journey. So I'm making this video real quick to show them how she was assembled on the stand so that they can put her back together, as well as some of the processes that they might want to do in order to get her glued together on the far end for them. The biggest hints or pieces of advice that I can give them is to make sure you dry fit the pieces. So test how they're going to fit together before you actually start applying glue. So just pressing them together, making sure you have the movement of how you're going to push them together once you do have glue on it down and practiced. And once you've got that down, go ahead and put a bit of super glue. Now again, you only want to use a very tiny dot of super glue. We want to put just enough to hold it together. We don't want to put a massive amount of super glue on it, because it's not like it's going to be, taking flying leaps and stuff like that. We only want enough super glue to hold it together. Tiny little dots on the connection point are, in general, the best way to get it to stick together. As you can see, the model itself has lots of little keys and holes and pins and stuff like that to make sure that everything lines up. So it's not really that difficult of a task. There's no guessing. All of the pieces in general have one direction that they're supposed to be facing, and in general, they only ever fit in that one direction. It does take a little bit of, again, dry fitting to make sure everything lines up, but once you've got it down once and you're sure that everything is lined up the correct way, compared against photos, what have you, then you're good to go ahead and add the glue. Once you've added the glue, you only really need to hold together for a couple of seconds until the glue sets. I personally use a thicker super glue so that it stays exactly where I put it, so that the pieces will stay together and won't have glue running everywhere.